mafia has left on Kansas City is long-lasting, but many Italian Americans say it's left an even deeper, enduring negative image on them. Tonight, Larry Blunt concludes his series Married to the Mob in Kansas City, looking at how the negative stereotyping of Italian Americans has come about.
Well, Phil, tonight we're going to see how the mafia image of Kansas City still exists and why some Italian Americans feel showing images of past mafia violence hurts the image of honest, decent Italian Americans. What we'll also see is that not all Italian Americans agree on who's to blame.
But when it was over, 3 men were shot.
Images of violence by Kansas City's mafia. These images are not just a part of Kansas City's past. They still linger in the minds of people locally and nationally.
There is this image. In fact, I was in Boston last week and someone asked me about Kansas City's organized crime community. I think some of it has been romanticized. We almost like to believe that it's here because of the way Hollywood has glamorized it.
I want to thank you for helping me organize this meeting here today. And also the other heads of the 5 families and all the other associates that came as far as from California, Kansas City.
Many Italian Americans say the movies and the media have done more than romanticize and glamorize the mafia. They say it's hurt the image of Italian Americans.
Somehow that concept of mafia has grown and it's almost become synonymous with Italian Americans in some people's minds.
George Casconi was one of a dozen or so Italian American businessmen who made a dramatic statement about stereotyping Italian Americans.
When the movie The Godfather came out in the early 1970s, Casconi and other local Italian American businessmen bought out the Midland Theater where the movie was playing. They didn't want people to see The Godfather, so the movie played to an empty house. The message they were trying to send is that Italian Americans should not be stereotyped.
Nowadays, the group Basta, which is an Italian word meaning enough, speaks out. They feel many Italians are unfairly targeted for prosecution because of their names. Names like Savella, Camasano, Simoni. George Casconi is not a member of Basta, but like many Italian Americans, he considers showing scenes from Kansas City's mafia past to be a detriment.
When you go over things over and over, it serves to just embed in people's minds more so the stereotype than to put it in proper perspective.
It isn't the image that's hurt us, it's the crimes that are being committed by people of Italian descent and their secret society called the Mafia that reflects, unfortunately, in a broad brush against all Italian Americans.
Steve Glorioso has been an outspoken Italian American against the mafia. When the Spiro brothers were gunned down in 1978, he was very critical of the mafia's brutality and of the lack of public outcry. He says there was conspiracy of silence then and there is now. To Glorioso, silence can be seen as acceptance, and people, even Italian Americans, should not be silent about the mafia.
No, it's not the media. The media doesn't stereotype that mafia gangsters are Italian. The fact of the matter is, mafia gangsters are Italian by the very nature of being the mafia. The fact that it spills over and deflects poorly on the rest of us is something that it's not the media, it's not the messenger that's the problem. The problem is the criminals.
Now, the FBI tells me the Kansas City Mafia continues to get new members today, and the requirement is the same as it's always been. You must be of Sicilian ancestry on your father's side, but of course, there are associates of the Mafia that are not Sicilian or Italian.
And Larry, we've learned that this new breed of mafioso is much different than the old, too.
Yes, they are, Phil. Federal authorities tell me that the new members of the Mafia tend to be less disciplined than their fathers and grandfathers. They don't adhere to the same codes, and they're more willing to take risks, and that, of course, makes them more dangerous.
Making the efforts of the police and Justice Department that much more important to all of us.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Larry.
Kansas City's reputed...
Ladies and gentlemen, Kansas City.